when we first started looking into doing something like this, I had already purchased and damaged a piece on my really nice drum set. My son, who'd often seen me hit drums, came down and at the ripe old age of 2 years decided to pick up a wrench and hit my kick drum and put a nice big dent right in the shell. There was nothing I could do about it. I could go buy another drum, but I'd waited a year for this custom instrument to be made. So I decided to live with it. And that is the need that most musicians find themselves in with a really nice musical instrument. If it hasn't happened yet, it will. An accidental, unintended, unpredictable bit of damage can be done to your nice instrument. And so I just lived with it for a few months, but as we were developing the product, I decided to let my bass drum be one of the guinea pigs. And so we took the drum in and they sanded it down. They used a really high grit sandpaper and just wiped the whole thing down. And it looked ruined. I was just scared. But the Xylexin actually has to bond with the surface mechanically, and with a smooth polished lacquer finish, that wasn't going to happen. So I wanted to preserve everything underneath. And then where the ding was, they took some stain, they matched the stain and put it in, and then put Xylexin on top of it and let it sit for a few days, and then polished it down. We put 4 or 5 coats of Xylexin on it, and my bass drum is brand new, but it is also protected now. So should something like that happen again, I'm well protected. Well, when we took my bass drum into the shop, I also noticed a few dings that were on the wooden rims. I had no idea that these wooden hoops had been dinged. I hadn't taken it out of my studio. I hadn't done anything with it except play it, and I hit only the heads. I was very careful. It was sitting on carpet, but there were little dings, and I found little wear marks where bass drum pedals clamp on. Not usually worried about that because no one usually sees it, but nonetheless, damage had already been done. The drum was only a few months old in my possession, so we coated the hoops in Xylexin, and I've taken it out on multiple gigs now. Not a ding, not a scratch. The drum is in perfect condition. With that big drum sitting on the floor, usually the road crew or the stage crew or somebody is going to kick it, and they have. Mic stands have fallen on it, and it's fine. Well, we did it to the rest of my drums, and I took my smallest rack tom and gave it to my son. I gave him a flat-bladed screwdriver and let him go to town. This is on fully cured, fully finished Xylexin. And you know what? He was able to do damage to it. Xylexin is certainly not indestructible, but it didn't do any damage to the wood or the finish underneath. And what we were able to do was take it to the shop. We buffed out the scratch, and it was as good as new. It was that simple. It took 20 minutes, and my drum was back to being fully protected and completely beautiful.